significantly influences energy generation, transmission, consumption behaviors in these systems. Climate-induced weather variations and extreme weather events also affect the resilience of both energy supply and demands. And resilience is a recurring theme. It's not just enough to generate the amount of electricity that we want, but we need to have it to be stable, dependable, and resilient to external shocks. Not just the usage, but from shocks of natural disasters. Extreme and severe conditions can lead to grid failure, energy generation shortages, increasing energy demands, and disaster induced destructions highlight the essential of the need of weather data, accurate weather data. Hence, to effectively plan, design, size, construct, and manage buildings and energy systems, spatially representative weather data is essential to perform analysis, forecasting, and simulation. And that's what this project has been able to bring, is the spatial data. Before, we did have weather stations within the country, but they were very few and limited and concentrated in certain areas.
The ERCAP project now allows Belize to have up to 7 marine weather stations as opposed to only 2 in the past. After the break, multiple vehicles involved in RTA just outside Belmopan. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale.
A Honduran national identified as 67-year-old Fermin Lobo died as a result of a traffic accident that occurred on Saturday morning on the Ultra Benque Road in Orange Walk, which doubles as the Philip Golson Highway. Sometime before 10 a.m., 26-year-old Hugo Vasquez, a deliveryman, parked a red Milan cargo motorbike he was driving on the right side of the highway. However, he went to move it to the other side of the road, and that is when Lobo, who was driving that is, a red Lifan motorcycle in the opposite direction, collided into the rear of the cargo motorcycle. Lobo was flung from the motorcycle and died moments later. Vasquez has been served with a notice of intended prosecution. Lobo had just retired last year. He had been working as a security officer at Muffles Junior College. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero told the media that the file will be forwarded to the DPP for directives.
Upon arrival, they received information that a male person had been taken for medical treatment. They proceeded to the hospital where they found Fermin Lobo, 67 years with severe injuries, and he succumbed to his injuries. Investigation is that he was riding a motorcycle and he collided with a tricycle, causing his fatal injuries. An investigation is being carried out. The other driver of the tricycle has been served with an NIP, and thereafter the file will be forwarded to the DPP for directives.
A police checkpoint set up on the curve is being blamed for a multiple vehicle road traffic accidents this morning around 9 just outside Belmopan on the Hummingbird Highway. Drivers say that the checkpoint, which was located on the first curve of the highway near the detour to Las Flores, reportedly a dump truck collided into a pickup truck, a motorcycle, and a van after the driver was reportedly caught off guard by the checkpoint on the curve. Other drivers at the scene complained about the ill-located checkpoint. At least one person is reported to have received serious injuries, and police are investigating. In July, workers of the Social Security Board, who are members of the Christian Workers Union, wore black ribbons to symbolize hardship over what they claimed was disrespect by the management of their collective bargaining agreement. Late last week, the union reported that workers they represent at the Development Finance Corporation are taking similar actions against their management, which the union says is displaying bad faith. In the case of the SSP, the actions of the union and its members led to a meeting with management. We will follow up on the DFC case. A case of aggravated burglary was reported on Sunday in Borough Boom, Belize District. A woman reported to police that she was at home when with her mom, that is, when they were approached by two armed men wearing camouflage clothing. The men held them up and searched the home and stole assorted items and cash. ACP Gilberto Romero said that no one has been detained as yet in connection to the incident.
Police responded to a report of an aggravated burglary at Borough Boom Village. Upon their arrival, they met a complainant who reported that she was at home along with her mother when they were approached by two male persons who were in camouflage clothing. The two persons took out a knife and a machete and held them up. They then searched the house and stole 3 watches, a cell phone, and some cash. Thereafter, the male persons fled from the area. We are conducting an investigation into this report, and so far no suspects have been detained.
Police are looking for 3 men who accosted 35-year-old Tyrone Morales in Tower Hill, Orange Walk, and shot at him, leaving him injured but is in a stable condition. Morales was walking on an unnamed street heading to the highway at around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday when he was approached by a gray Ford Ranger pickup truck occupied by the 3 men. Morales was injured to the stomach and was taken to the Northern Regional Hospital for treatment.
Upon arrival, they found Tyrone Morales with a gunshot injury to the abdomen. He was taken for treatment. He reported that he was walking when a pickup came along and stopped near him. He saw 3 male persons, one who pulled out a firearm and fired a single shot at him. He received an injury and is in stable condition. We are now seeking the 3 suspects in regards to this shooting.
Last week, Court's Belmopan branch was burglarized after the security guard was bound and 7 armed men entered the premises and stole several cell phones and laptops. Today, ACP Hilberto Ramiro reported that 3 have since been charged and that a few of the stolen items were recovered all the way in Belize City. Ramiro shared more details.
Then reference the aggravated burglary at courts in Belmopan. Police conducted several searches, which led to the recovery of some cell phones and laptops, and have since arrested and charged Randy Slusher, Tyra Diaz, and Roy Alvarez for the crime of handling stolen goods. They are all from Belize City. Further investigation is being conducted, and other charges are expected to be levied.
Where was the items from?
The items were recovered in Belize City.
After the break, Wilson Greenwich wins 2024 National Song Competition and police officers trained in sign language. Stay tuned.
This plan, I can't leave this plan.
Over 30 police officers from the Belize and Cayo districts are partaking in a sign language training, which was organized by the National Community Policing Unit headed by Howell Gillett. He stated, open quote, "We have a duty of care to all our citizens," end quote. He added that knowing sign language will allow officers to communicate directly and effectively with persons who are hearing impaired. The winner of the National Song Competition 2024 was announced Friday at the end of a ceremony where the 7 finalists performed their songs. Wilson Greenwich took first place with his piece Until Forever and won the $20,000 grand prize, delivering an electrifying performance on the stage of the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Huey took second place and Ika Middleton placed third. Their songs were Explore Belize and Remember Them Days, respectively. One road project that has been demanded for years is the paving of the Guinea Grass Road from said village of the Philip Golston, that is, highway in Tower Hill, just outside Orange Rock Town. The project was announced over a year ago and residents have been anticipating its start. In a recent interview, a representative for Orange Rock, Honorable Hasemai, said the project should commence shortly.
The bidding for that has happened. I think that they have identified who the contractor is. I haven't seen a release yet, but they're still working on some final details. But that bid has closed. The contractor has been, I think, identified, and that's supposed to begin shortly.
In times of natural disaster, whenever a weather system appears to be headed our way, the Belize Coast Guard has an instrumental responsibility that of notifying fishers who are out at sea at their different camps to head back to the mainland. Coast Guard Commandant Elton Bennett told us of his role out at sea executed just last month with Major Hurricane Beryl.
Hurricane Beryl was a very interesting case indeed. We had enough warning, which is very unusual. We had almost a week to prepare for this. All indicators were on track. I think the Met Service did a really good job in terms of keeping us updated with accurate information. Our responsibility to the nation during a major storm like this is pretty much initially to do early warning of those remote locations. We did that, so we had adequate time to go out and warn all of those fisher folks and those mariners out at those remote locations. So that went well. We were able to assist with the supervision of the evacuation of some of the islands. And then we assisted NEMO. We form a part of the National Emergency Management Organization, where we assisted with establishing emergency operating centers in Corozal, San Pedro, and Kikaka. So we were very, very operational during that period of time. I think we were lucky that we got spared from that storm, but there was a lot of lessons learned in terms of preparation, in terms of safeguarding our assets. It was a good exercise for us, so we were able to take that as a good opportunity to further prepare the Coast Guard for a major storm.
I always wondered how fishers out there become aware that there's a storm coming.
Yeah, so that's a major part of our responsibility, to ensure that our patrol vessels can go out and locate all of these fisher folks and fishing camps and these vessels, to inform them that there's an approaching storm. Quite often they would be outside the range of radio coverage, and the Coast Guard would be responsible to deliver that information to them. We would document those vessels or those individuals at those fishing camps to say what their evacuation plan is and what route they'll be taking in. So there's a lot that goes into just preparing for an approaching storm, and then of course the disaster relief effort that follows.
While Belmopan will have Jewett for the first time during this year's September celebrations, there won't be any official events to mark September 10th as the Battle of St. George's Key, and there has been no Queen of the Bay pageant. Here's how the conversation went when our colleagues at Plus TV asked Mayor Pavlikovich about it all, beginning with how they decided on the Juvet.
Well, you know that we have some young councillors in this team, and through their efforts and their interactions with the community, it was something that the community was asking for, and hence, obviously, our introduction of it into the calendar of events.
So something I didn't see on the calendar of events, nothing for the 10th. Explain why your council decided to not have anything for that day.
Well, I believe that we're not the only municipality not doing anything for the 10th. We believe that the 10th is, as it by name, the Battle of St. George's Quay. It's an event that is more for the quay itself, and we are encouraging our citizens our residents to enjoy it in Belize City. We believe that next year we will have an event for it. This year we found it a bit challenging to schedule something that would live up to the hype with the other events that we were planning.
I've heard reports that there won't be anything for the 10th because it's viewed as a UDP holiday and not a PUP holiday.
Well, I'm sure that if you look at my administration, there isn't really any differentiation with regards to UDP or PUP. I believe that when it comes to the city and the running of the city, it's about Belmopan, not necessarily politics.
Something else, I don't know if you would be able to comment on no Queen of the Bay this year. Did you know anything about that, or are you disappointed that there won't be a Queen of the Bay pageant in Belmopan this year?
Well, I know my councillors, a couple of them were in communication with the committee for the Queen of the Bay in Belmopan, and they had expressed some logistics constraints, and I believe that is the true reason as to why there was no Queen of the Bay event in Belmopan. But from my knowledge, they selected a participant to represent Belmopan for the main event in Belize City.
Again, I heard it's because it's a UDP thing. Is that true?
I wouldn't know if it's a UDP thing. Again, I don't really play politics in that sense.
And on Friday, police arrested and charged 26-year-old construction worker Elida Anthony Allen for the shooting death of 32-year-old Stanley Jerome Moore. The incident occurred in late June of this year, and reports are that Moore and 27-year-old Joshua Gillett were traveling in Gillett's BMW on Central American Boulevard in Belize City when two men on a motorcycle rode up next to Gillett. The passenger allegedly fired several shots at the men, and Gillett rushed towards the KHMH where he received treatment, but Moore had died while in the vehicle. 24-year-old MarKeisha was charged for the crime shortly after. ACP Alberto Romero listed Allen's charges earlier today.
Reference the murder of Jerome Moore that occurred at Mahogany Street in Belize City. Police have since arrested and charged Allen for the crime of murder, attempt murder, and use of deadly means of harm.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am MarKeisha Young. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.